Hi, I'm Mahalia Joseph-Wharton sharing the Jaipur Foot Story in Trinidad and Tobago. For many, walking is something we take for granted, but for others, it's a dream, one that slipped away because of illness, injury, or tragedy. For 50 days at the Diwali Nagar site in Chagonas, that dream was restored, one step at a time. 800 citizens were given the gift of mobility again after receiving artificial limbs through the Jaipur Foot Fitment Camp. Behind every new step is a story of hope, patience, and faith as recipients wait up to 5 hours to be fitted with a prosthetic that can change their world in just one day. For many, gratitude was mutual between those who made the project possible and those whose lives were being restored. The Artificial Limb Fitment Camp is more than just a medical initiative. It's a new lease on life for the over 800 beneficiaries who are expected to receive these artificial limbs. 75-year-old Frankie Rupchand's dream of walking through his yard once more became a reality after receiving his artificial limb from the Jaipur Foot Fitment Camp.
Oh God, I cannot don't thank God. Thank God, the Almighty. Yeah, I good. I'm not sick. I do go clinic. I do go doctor. Last time I went doctor in 2017. Since that, I went back yesterday to get a medical. I thank the Lord for health and strength.
For 39-year-old Rehanna Hussain, a mother of two who lost her leg in 2023, the simplest moments are what she looks forward to most.
I would like to go to the grocery and market and stuff with the boys, these kind of things, or little outings and stuff. Going to the zoo, all those things.
Living with diabetes and the loss of sight in one eye hasn't been easy, but Rehanna says she's ready for her new chapter.
And it has been challenging, yes, but I'm learning to overcome what's been going on. Other than losing my leg, I lost a sight in one eye, but I'll say that's a different story. But I'm very excited. I'm overjoyed. My kids are happy for me. So I'm getting to move around with them. So I'll be moving around a little more now with them.
For her, the limb is more than a gift. It's a second chance.
I am overjoyed. I'm happy to know that, I'm getting this leg, this opportunity, in a sense, like a second chance of, being. It's a lot to take in. Yes.
64-year-old Michael Tobal lost his leg in 2021 and with it much of his independence. Today, he's taking back that freedom. His daughter Janelle Furman says watching him struggle was heartbreaking.
When he lost his foot, he was sad. I was crying. Sometimes he happy. Then they have these sad moments where he will just break down and he will always be watching his foot and he will tell all his friends, oh God, my foot. If I didn't lose my foot, I could have been doing so much things because he has a little partner. But the thing is that he didn't have the money to buy it. You understand? Because without this, you have to spend real money to get the foot right.
For 10 years, 33-year-old Ricardo Barclay lived with one leg. The moment he stood on 2 feet again was life-changing.
I was have one leg for 10 years and thank God for the One Nation, Kamala Prasad. He equal my race and myself to the nation, and now I could walk with 2 legs, not one.
How do you feel to finally be able to walk on 2 legs with this artificial limb?
I feel great. I feel like myself again. You understand? Yourself standing up and sipping a beer with your friends and them.
But Ricardo admits there were times when the pain felt too heavy to bear.
I was feeling lost of myself. I was telling the magistrate I feeling to take a valuation because I fed up on myself living. And now I regret what I say because I feeling real good right now because I get my next leg.
From heartbreak to hope, for many, these artificial limbs mean more than mobility. They mean dignity, independence, and the simple joy of walking again. ensuring that no citizen is ever left behind by disability. This is how Prime Minister Kamla Prasad Bisesa described the overarching goal of the Jaipur Artificial Limb Fitment Camp, a collaboration between the government and the High Commission of India to Trinidad and Tobago at the launch on October 3rd, only 3 months after the pledge of India's Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi. What started off as a 50-day temporary fit camp will soon be a permanent fixture in Trinidad and Tobago, as a limb fitment camp will be established in Siparia. The Prime Minister acknowledged that the camp brought local and foreign teams together in unity and purpose.
It is fitting that the day after honoring Mahatma Gandhi's example of courage, compassion, and service to humanity, we open a camp devoted not to power or wealth, but to the quiet work of healing, to the quiet work of restoring dignity, to the quiet work of restoring independence and hope to those who have lost a limb.
Founder and chief patron of the BMVSS Jaipur Foot organization, Davendra Raj Mehta, reflected on Prime Minister Prasad Bisesa's point that behind every statistic is a human story.
They are among the most distressed segment of the society. Having lost their limbs, they lost their mobility, they lost their dignity, they lost their income, and they lost their social respect. They suffer not from one but 4 disabilities, psychological also included.
With one of the highest rates of diabetes in the Americas and the Ministry of Health reporting 350 to 400 lower limb amputations each year, the local economic impact of amputations cannot be denied.
Too often, a small foot wound spirals into the loss of an entire limb. The economic toll, as Dr. Mehta mentioned, is very severe. It's very severe, the economic toll. A single amputation can reduce a household's income by 20 to 40%. A limb costs TT $15,000 to $40,000, as he told us, which is far beyond the reach of most families. And yet, there is hope.
With a success rate of 8 in 10 amputees regaining basic mobility after fitting and 1 in 2 returning to work or school within a year, this collaboration with the Jaipur Foot organization has the potential to restore local amputees to full participation in society.
Stanford University developed a new joint called the Jaipur knee for above knee patients. It's a critical problem all over the world. And Time magazine USA, not Indian magazine, wrote that Jaipur, it's called Jaipur knee. Jaipur knee, the joint for above knee patients, is one of the 50 best inventions of the world for the year 2009. And that is the joint we have provided to above knee patients.
During his visit to Trinidad and Tobago, India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi assured that his country's assistance to this nation will not only continue but significantly expand. It was at that point he announced India's intention to host the Limb Fitment Camp.
We will share our expertise in agriculture, horticulture, and food processing. Machinery from India will support our agro industry. And because development is about dignity, we will organize an artificial limb fitment camp and differently able citizens here.
For India, the effort is part of a wider mission to share technology, knowledge, and compassion with the world. Even before the 50-day limb camp was established, some amputees were fortunate to get their artificial limbs at the launch of the camp. Dawn Payne, who lost her leg 1 year ago, expressed extreme gratitude for the prosthetic.
Because if my elevator isn't working, I cannot come out. Because there's 121 steps to reach your elevator. And I can't walk. And I'm very grateful for getting this leg, so I'll be able to come out. I can walk. It's wonderful. that you could do things on your own because, you know, normally you had to wait for somebody to help you. If it was far as your chair could carry you, you know what I mean?
Catherine Kilawan said she will now be able to execute her basic daily duties.
You know, I'm able to walk, to do my chores, and, you know, go where I couldn't go.
High Commissioner of India to Trinidad and Tobago Dr. Pradeep Raj Purohit said the feedback from the amputees has been excellent thus far.
They are so happy. Some of them are crying with joy. They are tears of happiness because they are getting these limbs in a span of 1 to 2 days and for free.
Behind the scenes of the humanitarian effort of the Jaipur Foot Fitment Camp at the Diwali Nagar site in Chagonas stands one woman, Indra Rupnarayan, whose determination helped bridge the gap between Trinidad and Tobago and the government of India, making the project a reality. Her mission hits close to home as she says diabetes continues to affect thousands of Trinidadians each year, leading to hundreds of amputations. Behind every success story, there are faces that never make the headlines. The volunteers, the technicians, the families cheering from the sidelines. Through her organization, Touching a Life Foundation for Kids, Indra Rupnarayan spent over a year and a half collecting data on amputees across the country. Data that was ultimately made the case for India's support. It was a challenge that the CEO and director was more than willing to accept.
High Commissioner and myself, we had a little conversation one day, and he told me he's looking to gather data to see how many persons in Trinidad and Tobago would require a limb after being a diabetic or after amputation. So I told him, yes, I will take the challenge up, and I did. And I went out and I was able to get the information. And originally, I collected about 530 names. I networked with several clinics and even patients who are in clinics throughout the country. Yeah? I just kept on going for about a year and a half, and I was able to collect the data and put it. I did it on a spreadsheet so that High Commissioner could take it to India, and he can actually prove his case to be right that in Trinidad we need quite a bit of limbs.
Today, that data has translated into real impact as hundreds of citizens have already received artificial limbs free of charge. But for Ms. Rupnarayan, the numbers tell a deeper story, one that reveals a worrying trend behind the need for so many prosthetics.
What we are realizing though, and this is something that we need to really take particular interest about, is that there seems to be a lot of young people that are coming up for a limb. When you ask them, and while screening, we ask, well, exactly what it is, why did this happen? So, you know, one would think it would be an accident or something like that. Strangely, it is because they are diabetic. So many, at least about 80% of the cases are diabetics.
She believes that these figures should serve as a wake-up call for the nation, especially as diabetes continues to affect younger populations. Ms. Rupnarayan says stronger education, diet awareness, and national intervention are urgently needed.
In my opinion, the Diabetic Association needs to play an active role in terms of educational awareness about diabetes and the impact it has on your body. And we also need to see if we can inculcate some form of dietary plan with diabetics. I mean, yes, we do talk about it in clinics, right? But who are the people who are actually driving this whole thing to ensure? Because when you come back to a clinic and then next thing you hear, you are going to be amputated with the next limb. Obviously, the message is not going in the right place, and it is not being taken into consideration by the patients themselves. So my advice, and this is just a suggestion, this is my own suggestion, is that we need to have a diabetic awareness clinic, being a mobile clinic probably throughout the country, and we need to have more diabetic educational sensitization plans into place. Also, because we are also looking at young children having certain kind of medical conditions, I would also suggest that this nutrition awareness program in health should be actually resonating in the schools. Why I'm saying this is because we do have a lot of diabetics. Young children are diabetics. As being into dialysis and actually doing dialysis patients, what I realize is that some of the young people who are there, they are begging for a life.
Her passion for the cause, however, extends beyond advocacy. For Ms. Rupnarine, this partnership between Trinidad and Tobago and India represents something almost divine, a chance to change lives, restore dignity, and offer hope to those who have lost so much.
It's a phenomenal feeling to know. Actually, I feel it is out of my reach, and I consider it to be a divine intervention. And it has been one of my plea, that I want to do something that is so important to others, that we can actually put back smiles on faces and give them a life that they never had before. And this is one of the opportunities that I realized that we did have that opportunity, and God gave it to us in such a significant way with the Narendra Modi visit in Trinidad, Narendra Modi ji's visit here, also the High Commissioner being a force behind it, because he really pushed, he fought, and he did get what he really wanted. And to me, it is a blessing in disguise to all Trinidadians, whoever the recipients are. We need to appreciate that this is something that was given to us, not by guess, but it is really by divinity.
For the many citizens who've received their prosthetic limbs and for those still waiting, Indra Rupnarine's work has not only restored movement, but renewed faith in what compassion and collaboration can achieve. During a tour of the 50-day limb fitment camp, Minister of Land and Legal Affairs and Minister in the Ministry of Agriculture and Fisheries, Saddam Hussein, said it was a partnership already making a lasting impact.
I see people came in sitting and they're going to leave walking. This is the amazing work of Prime Minister Prasad Bisesa in collaboration with the Government of India and our very hardworking High Commissioner. This is one of the initiatives that came out of Prime Minister Modi's visit to Trinidad and Tobago.
Minister Hussein said the project has brought hope to many citizens who had been without access to affordable prosthetics.
For those who have not received their fitment in this phase of it, we have good news as a government that again through this partnership and this brotherhood, our buyer here, we are going to have a permanent artificial limb camp set up in Trinidad and Tobago. We are exploring all of the logistics right now, because you see what is taking place at the back in terms of material, in terms of the technical skills and so on. And we are going to have that artificial limb camp having a permanent home in Trinidad and Tobago, not only to benefit the citizens here, but it will be a regional camp to also benefit the Caribbean.
Chief Coordinator of the Permanent Limb Camp, Amit Alag, said the initiative will soon find a permanent home in the constituency of Siparia under the flagship of Prime Minister Kamla Prasad Bisesa.
We're very thankful to Madam Prime Minister for giving us the opportunity to house this camp permanently at one of her offices in constituency of Siparia. We went to see the place and it was a wonderful building, outfitted very nicely. And she has taken a personal initiative and personal involvement in making sure that we are facilitating that camp there.
Mr. Alag added that the Prime Minister's compassion for those affected has been the driving force behind the project.
We went to the diplomatic center to do the launch, and when she really saw those little kids walking, and a child was there 3 years old and he got the limb, and it was a tears of joy from her side, and she said that we want to see if this initiative can be an initiative of Trinidad and Tobago with the help of the Government of India, and we can take it forward. And I think for somebody to adopt this camp at such short time and forthcoming is something which is not seen anywhere as in the world. Very few prime ministers in the other parts of the world have come forward, but Madam Prime Minister, because she has a heart for the children, heart for our lesser privileged and those people who are disabled and things. So I think this is something which will resonate with the feelings and also people's minds, and people will gravitate towards this as we go along.
Meanwhile, the High Commissioner of India to Trinidad and Tobago, Dr. Pradeep Singh Rajpurohit, said his government is pleased to see the impact of the project and the enthusiasm shown by the local community.
So we are very happy. Almost half of the the fitments have already been made, and more and more people are coming out here to support. And the most important thing is the smile on the faces of the people actually here.
Administrative Officer of Sri Bhagwan Mahavir Viklang Sahayat Samiti, the parent company of Jaipur Foot, Pramod Verma, says this is why his team of 9 travelled from India to see lives transformed in real time.
We are very glad to be here, and the kind of reception we got from here from the people, it's so amazing. And when we give the limb to the patients, after getting the limb, the smile of the patient, it's so priceless. You will forget each and everything. So I think that's the thing which we are here.
With 37 branches across India and over 118 camps in 45 countries, Jaipur Foot has fitted more than 2.5 million beneficiaries worldwide.
Our technology is very frugal and rapid. When the patient come in the evening, in the morning, we take his measurement, his casting, then we almost gave him a prosthesis in around 4 to 5 hours on a same day. In the world, no one give you the very same day the prosthesis. Only the BMVSs, the Jaipur Foot, give you on the very same day. So this kind of work we are doing.
Jaimit Parekh is a professional prosthetist and orthotist with BMVSS. He walked us through how a Jaipur Foot prosthetic is made, from the first assessment to the moment a patient stands on 2 feet again. When a patient arrives, the team starts with a careful assessment to decide which type of artificial limb will best restore mobility. Jaimit then explained the next steps.
First of all, we take the measurement. We take this kind of cast for the patient and measurement too, by the using of plaster of POP bandage.
POP?
POP.
What does that stand for?
Stand for this kind of plaster of Paris bandage.
Oh, okay.
Okay, just like this.
And is it that you're dipping it in water?
Yes, we dip in a water at least one minute. After it gets wet, then we just apply the bandage, just like bandage phenomena. And once it gets set, we remove it from the patient's tongue. And after that, the next process is pour the POP in it, in negative mold.
Right.
Then after we remove this cast, and as per according to the measurement, we modify the stump in positive mold.
Okay.
Okay.
Using the same material.
Yes, plaster of Paris powder.
From that cast, the team creates a positive mold, a careful replica of the patient's residual limb, and then crafts the liner and HDPE socket that will sit against the skin. Jaimit showed how the HDPE pipe is covered with a stocking, heated until it softens, and then formed over the mold so the socket is a perfect, comfortable fit. The Jaipur Foot is then screwed onto the lower end of that socket and a suspension belt added so the limb stays secure. What's remarkable is how fast and affordable the whole process is. This is a same-day treatment. Patients come in the morning, the team takes measurements and casts, fabricates the socket and foot, fits the limb, makes adjustments, and by the end of the day, many leave walking on a new prosthetic. The result is a lightweight, durable limb that can last several years with proper care, and more importantly, it restores independence, dignity, and hope in a matter of hours. From India to Trinidad and Tobago, this collaboration reminds us that kindness knows no borders. I'm Mahalia Joseph-Wharton, and as we close, may we all remember that one act of kindness and one gesture of partnership can help someone somewhere take their next step forward.